Have you ever wondered if the universe has a mind of its own? That there is an intelligence, a pattern, a logic that governs everything, from the movements of the stars down to your thoughts and emotions? What if I told you that the universe does think, but not in words, not in language, not in stories? It thinks in vibrations, in frequencies and assumptions. And what if your experiences in life is a direct result of how closely your inner state matches the universe's operating system? This video isn't about wishful thinking, it's something practical, something incredibly old and yet scientifically relevant today. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how the universe thinks, how your own mind mirrors it, and how to align yourself so effortlessly that manifestation becomes a natural result, not a struggle, not a fluke. So let's discuss the mind of the universe and how you can sync up with it. So the universe doesn't think in English, much like most of the planet. It doesn't care about your vocabulary, your complaints, or how convincing your arguments are. It thinks in laws, patterns, and feedback loop. Think about gravity. It doesn't listen, it just is. You jump, you fall. No emotion, just consequence. The same goes for the way thoughts become things. The universe works more like a mirror or a matching system, reflecting your dominant state back to you. And that state isn't just judged by the words that you say aloud. It's measured by your internal consistency, your assumptions, your dominant feelings, your expectations. Neville Goddard put it simply, the world is yourself pushed out. The outer world doesn't operate independently of your inner one. It's a projection. This mirrors what quantum physics shows through the observer effect. What you observe, how you expect the world to behave, alters the result. This is not superstition. This is now a tested and repeatable feature, a subatomic reality. So the universe thinks, but not like a person. It runs on a kind of intelligence, one that constantly reorganizes energy based on input. Your thoughts, your beliefs, your assumptions, they're inputs. The system doesn't debate them, it responds to them. Once you understand this, you stop begging the universe and you start programming it. So the universe talks in vibrations. So how do you talk back? Well, you do this with feelings, not just emotion, but felt certainty. You could call it belief, but it's deeper than that. See in a sense that something is true, long before evidence shows up. And here's the key, the universe responds to identity, not desire. Saying I want vibrates lack, whereas being the version that already has, that vibrates alignment. I always say it's like tuning a radio. Your favorite station is always broadcasting, but you won't hear it until you tune into the right frequency. Manifestation is no different. You're not trying to create the signal, you're trying to match it. So what's the best way to tune in? Start by defining the end state. What does it feel like to have what you want? Then make that feeling familiar through visualizations, repetition, meditation, scripting, whatever helps your subconscious believe it's already happening. Finally, stay in that state, despite outer appearances. This is true faith, not in a religious sense, but in terms of an inner knowing. And once it feels natural, the universe has no choice. It must reflect it back to you. Because the universe doesn't hear your words, it matches your frequency. Okay, so let's get even more practical. See, manifestation isn't magic, it's mechanics. And the mechanism is alignment. Your thoughts are electric, your emotions are magnetic. Together they form your energetic broadcast to the universe. But here's the thing, most people are misaligned. They'll think one thing, I'll be successful, but feel another, it probably won't work, and believe something entirely different. People like me never get ahead. This causes static, and the signal is scrambled. The universe reflects the most consistent and strongest signal, which is usually the belief. So how do we change that? So with your thoughts, start consciously directing your mental focus. Instead of rehearsing the worst case scenario, rehearse your desired outcome. Use affirmation, script, and thought experiments. This rewires your neural patterns. So don't fake happiness, generate a feeling of completion. Even a few minutes a day feeling it's done can shift your entire energy field. Gratitude is a shortcut if it's used sincerely. Now this takes time. Beliefs are often subconscious and they're programmed in early childhood. But with repetition and proof, they can be rewritten. Use techniques like mental revision, inner conversations, and assumption-based thinking. When thoughts, feelings, and belief point in the same direction, when they all say, "This is who I am now," the universe complies, not as a reward, but as a mirror. And alignment doesn't just make you magnetic, it makes you inevitable. So the universe doesn't just reflect you, it reflects according to laws. Just like you can't violate gravity without consequence, you can't manifest against universal principles. But once you understand them, they become your most powerful tool. So here are 3 worth mastering. The law of mentalism. Everything begins in the mind. Your outer world is a product of your inner state. Master this, and you no longer react, you create. The law of vibration. Everything is in constant motion. You're never stuck. Your job is to shift the frequency through thought, mood, or environment until you're in harmony with what you want. The law of correspondence. As within, so without. Instead of trying to fix the world, fix your perception of it, and the outer world will follow. You don't need to understand every universal law in depth to benefit, but you do need to respect that there is an order, and your job is not to fight it, but to sync up with it. This is why forced action without belief feels exhausting and rarely works, but aligned in a movement, well, that bends reality. When you work with a system instead of against it, things stop feeling hard, they start feeling natural. You become the kind of person who gets what they want, not because you're lucky, but because you've understood how the universe works, and you've learned to live in harmony with it. Okay, so how do we start aligning today? Well, here are 5 powerful but simple practices. Assume the wish fulfilled. This is a classic of Neville Goddard. Imagine a scene that implies your desire is already done. Replay it in your mind until it feels natural. Let that version of you become dominant. Scripting. Write your ideal reality in the present tense, as if it's already happened. Describe the emotions, the moments, the detail. This reinforces the identity of already having. Mental rehearsal. This is borrowed from sports psychology. Visualize success over and over again. The brain doesn't know the difference between real and vividly imagined. This builds confidence and neutral alignment. State checking. Throughout the day, ask, what state am I in right now? Lack, fear, confidence? Adjust if needed. Your states create the outcome, not your effort alone. Gratitude projection. Be grateful in advance, not as a trick, but as a genuine expression of trust. If you knew it was coming, you'd already feel thankful, so live in that feeling. These aren't just mental exercises, they shift the frequency. Each one helps overwrite the old programming and lock in a new identity. And remember, you don't need to be perfect, you just need to be consistent. The universe isn't waiting to judge you, it's waiting to match you. So for me, the universe doesn't play favorites, it plays frequencies. When you change your assumptions, you change your outcomes. When you shift your inner state, the outer world adjusts accordingly. When you align your thoughts, emotions, and belief with your desired reality, it stops being a wish and it becomes a pattern. The universe doesn't understand your language, but it hears your vibration loud and clear. So stop begging it and start matching it. You're not separate from the intelligence that runs this place. You are it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, share, leave me a comment. Always love hearing from you guys. If you're new to our channel, don't forget to subscribe and join this community of like-minded people. As always, thank you so much for your engagement and support. Look forward to seeing you on the next video. Bye for now.